Yevgeny Prigozhin, a former ally, maybe still an ally of President Putin, we'll go there in a second. In part of his challenge to the president and to the Russian military establishment, basically said, you all must know that Zelensky was elected in order to try to improve relations with Russia, to try to change all the dynamic that was going on in eastern Ukraine, not to go to war with Russia or to challenge Russia in that regard. He said that Russia's, quote-unquote, no, I think he called it a war, he didn't call it a special military operation, has been completely counterproductive, because if Ukraine had, 3 tanks before the war, it's now got X number of tanks. If Ukraine had a military that had a few thousand prepared soldiers, now it has, the whole country is prepared. So in other words, it was a big mistake by Russia. Do you think you're willing to accept any of that? This is from an ally of the president's.
It's hard to say. I wouldn't say that he does not belong to those who are planning something or doing something. He is a businessman, certainly. He is, in a way, he is adventurist, of course.
Prigozhin.
Prigozhin, definitely. He is, because he is far from that. He was involved into a certain business project. And
I know, but his troops did. If there were any successes on the battlefield, his troops did.
Listen, he can do whatever he thinks he does. When he tried to arrange this mutiny, I would say that he has got a qualification. So it was a high treason. The president has qualified it. When it has started, then it was all over. Yeah. Now he's traveling someplace. So we do recognize some hero deeds by Wagner Group when they have specifically stormed Bakhmut and all of that. But there are organizers and there are soldiers. Yeah. So we make a definition.
I would like to understand why it is that people like Karamurza, the intellectual, others, Navalny, are in jail for verbally protesting and disagreeing with the Russian government. But Yevgeny Prigozhin, who tried to commit a coup against the Kremlin, maybe even against the president himself, an armed coup, is still wandering around free in Russia. He was photographed meeting with the African leaders during this week's summit in St. Petersburg. Why is he not in jail for treason?
The investigation is going on. But in fact, what has happened when these troops has gone to Rostov, no one has been killed at all. No one has, there was no damage at all. And it was just, in my understanding, it was just, as one of the marshals decided that he is too outstanding.
But you know, Russian soldiers died in the.
I never recall this information. No.
All right. Well, it was reported that Russian soldiers died. That President Putin also said it was an act of treason.
Exactly. Yes.
But why is he still glad-handing with people like invited African presidents, where Putin is? In St. Petersburg, why is he not?
I saw this photograph. It does not prove anything. So perhaps they have business relations or something like that. I can only, because I have no explanation to that.
Yeah. Do you think it was a real coup against Putin, an attempt against Putin?
No.
What was it?
There was no attempt to get Putin. There was an idea that Prigozhin's people and Wagner, especially organizers, they had something special. They were supposed to go under the control of the Ministry of Defense, getting same salaries, getting same ammunition supplies and all of that. They didn't want, because the profit that before that, when they were independent, was much higher than the arrangement that was proposed to them to do.
So just so that you know, the reports are that at least 15 Russian servicemen died. Most of those were Air Force pilots.
Yes,
but anyway,
I remember that. There was a helicopter
Yeah, so the guy's responsible for the death of Russian military.
He was asked this question, why the helicopter was downed. And he said, we have got a crazy air defense commander who has done it without command. That was an answer by Prigozhin.